company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens, and soon we will have our Series Edition.com up and running. Well, not soon yet. We still got more paperwork to go and all that stuff and testing. Now let me get my cat over here. His cat calling, whatever, out the door. There's nothing out there. Would you please cut that off? There's nothing out there. All right, so we're doing a demonstration of a comparison of how gray screens compare, or gray screen paints. We really can't call these paints because at the end of the day, they're just paint. After all the testing we've done on them, they're just paint. So this is what it compares down to. These are several different shades of gray paint. We got everything from Network Gray 773 on this end to the Slip Silver, Amazon Slip Silver Microblend. This is actually silver right there, pure silver. I think it's the M&M. I think that's what it is. I think M&M. M is a paint by M&M. That makes a really high grade silver. That is hobby paint. I think that right there. And that is basically another version of gray house paint. I think that's Bullseye Primer over there. All right, so what happens is most people, what they do is they go out, they get a white projection screen, so some people do. Some people just spend the money for the $4,000 or $5,000 projection screens. Other people, yes, they go and buy our technology because after seeing our demonstrations, it's definitely a no-brainer that our technology is better, so they'll buy from us. But most people will basically, if they don't hear from us, they'll basically go out and make their own gray screen paint product, which is pretty much a kind of a black and white mixture with silver and glitter in it. Or some of people just go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or Benjamin Moore, or Amazon, or whatever, and they'll just buy a gray product painted on the screen. The problem is they're having is the fact that the gray screen does not pick up contrast, it does not pick up color, and next to a white screen, it can't even maintain a high white level. So it's kind of like in the area of limbo. This is the reason why we went through so much testing under 2.0, because 2.0 has to do a lot of stuff. It has to be to back up a lot of stuff at the end of the day. It had to be tested against different forms of gray screens. It has to be tested against certified screens. It had to be done in maxed out zones, because under gray products, they're not supposed to do this stuff. They have really hard times picking up in well-lit environments, and they wash out extremely fast. So anytime we talk to a customer, the first thing they'll say is, yeah, I went to Home Depot or Lowe's. I picked up some bare silver screen. I picked up some gray products, and I saw a little bit of an improvement, but not much. All right, now I explained to you about the silver screen. Silver screens pick up extremely high white levels, but the problem is with the silver screens, they wash out even faster. That's why the screen in the middle, it's not white, it's actually silver. All right, so let's begin. We're sitting here showing basic color red in the demonstration, just to give you an idea. We're going to come in here and we're going to pick up basic blue. Well, first, before we do all that, let's go to the white screen first, before we do all that. Now, this is what's told when I watch these demonstrations. We do a lot of research on gray screens. The first thing they talk about is their tremendous white level capabilities. The problem with that is the higher your white levels are on your screen, well, that means you can't see contrast or color. It has to be a balance. You don't want to be one-sided. That's what the white screens do. They're one-sided. They all pick up white with no problem whatsoever, but everything else will suffer along with it because there's no balance. Now, if you look at the slip silver, you see how bright the slip silver is? Yes, it picks up a higher white level than Network Gray 773, and the silver screen picks up a higher white level than all of them combined. So truthfully, if you're talking about white levels, on a gray screen, it would be the silver screen that would have the highest white level if you're going down that road. And that's where the fellow made the statement about that Luxy, or I can't even put it, I'm no disrespect. I just call it an LUX screen, that's what I call it. That particular screen is silver. It picks up a crazy high white level. I know that because I had it over here for testing. But next to our technology, the problem it's going to have is that color and contrast won't push. All right, so this is what we do with the certified. So let's go over here and let's pick up a slow color change out. All right, so we can show you that again in this environment. We're not in an ambient light controlled environment, which we don't want. We're going to have this with all the natural lighting that we have in the environment. Let's go with the slow color change right there. All right, so this is going to slowly change out the color. And it's going to be coming up in a few minutes. Just going to finish doing a sports demonstration. And this is the reason why when you watch these demonstrations with these products, they will try to get higher end projectors to try to make up. These little things you got to watch out for to make up for what the screen's not doing. That's why when they showed any other projector besides the ones they've been using in their main demonstrations, you will see that it will not look the same. There you go. And this is why in none of my demonstrations ever, have you ever heard Mr. Bird say, hey, in order to use your screen correctly, you got to calibrate your projectors. We don't say that because we don't have to calibrate our projectors, not ever. A screen has to be calibrated to get the colors correctly. And I've heard people in demonstrations literally say that, well, it's going to look a lot better once he calibrates it. That's not a good sign. That's an extremely bad sign, especially with the technology we have in projectors today. You should never be calibrating a projector that caliber to begin with. And if you got a projector with a 12-bit, 24-bit, whatever processor in there, and you mean to tell me you're calibrating to get the colors right? Are you kidding me? No, that's a major red flag. Now, let's go pull up a couple more white levels. Show them the colors. Let's go pull some white levels up also too. I like to shy away from that kind of stuff. Let's pull up our snow, as we do, or as always, our snow screensavers, which we've typed this in so many times that already knows. All right, so we're going to come over here. We're going to grab some beautiful snowflakes. Christmas music playing in the background. Now, that's why we show you the black levels. We show you those black paint, black fabric. We do not want our product coming up looking like that. That is extremely bad. We need our product to produce a high enough white level, but we don't want the white level too high. It has to have a balance. If it's too high, that means we're going to have problems with contrast levels and colors. And if it's too low, then the black levels are going to take over and it's going to saturate the screen where it's going to become unwatchable. Now, we explained to people that the 39's technology all have these same tests. All of them. They go through the same test you're watching right now. The Fusions, they all have the same test. All of them. 12s, 8s, anything that's black has to go through these tests. Now, the sad thing about the 8s is the 8s were literally so powerful that you could use them on the update knockoff projectors. If you go to my slideshow on my website in the Crystal Ridge Technology screens, you will see a person up there with one of those Exumis or Weave. Some of those weird, we had a strange projector. There's those categories. He was using an 8. The one with all that light in the environment on the screen, yeah, that was a knockoff projector he was using. Actually, we posted a projector in the slideshow. 8 was also too the screen that you see that we had painted outside. We had the screen outside and painted on the demonstration versus a gray and white screen. And it was able to produce this image outside while it was being painted in. But the problem, what we learned about the 8s was the fact that when COVID hit, we didn't have any backup steps for it. And the ingredients for that technology went under, including the paint with it. So that's why the 8s will never be bought ever again. But then again, now we're way beyond 8 technology. We've already hit 12s. And we're after that, we're at 22s. There's something there. Now, people get this confused when we say the 48s or 44s or 39s, that's the gain. No, that's not the gain. The gain that we develop is a solution that we put in. So if it has something called fusion or something like named next to the advanced ambient light rejection, as an XFER, which stands for transfer ambient light rejection. XFER is an abbreviation for transfer. That's what that stands for. The 48 is a category, a class. All right, let's grab something else. we do these tests on white sheets
Would
of
go to
paper.
yoga, but I don't have the right gear.
Save on all the best activewear at Sierra.
Also, I might have sent a...
Now the reason why this is a cakewalk for us to do this on the gray products, because we do this on white screens. It's called a white level test, which we take multiple sheets of white surfaces, lay them across the screen, and we do the same test you're watching right now. This is why it's a cakewalk for the technology run through this, because it does it on a much lighter screen. Now, this is not to put anybody's products down. This is showing you what you should be seeing when it comes to products. Do you see how many videos I just shot today on different levels and things we did? We did a couple of promo demonstrations on different sports and movies. We did a demonstration where it's certified. We did a demonstration with the black paints versus our products. And then we came in and we did this one right here. This is what you should be seeing on normal. This is normal, what you should be seeing. If you're not seeing these demonstrations randomly, then there's something wrong there. This is the comparison that we're showing now of the gray screen paint product. We have multi shades of gray. Now, if you were, and also too, we're going to be doing some demonstrations on how to spot fraud. So, we'll be showing multi-gray screens. I'm going to show you what happens when you take black paint and how it mimics. This is called Dynasty, Black Dynasty by Home Depot. This is what happens if you stick it against any one of these gray screen paint products, or house paints, or whatever you want to call them. That's how dark they come out. If our real technology was in that equation, the real deal, we wouldn't have that reaction. Really, this is all involving legal later on. These are some of the things that will be coming up. But anyway, yeah. If we lay that black Dynasty paint against any one of these gray screens, that's how dark it comes up. It doesn't come up dark on our product because our product doesn't match it. We'll take it, we'll put it into silver. Right there. Let's see how that comes up against the silver and the Network Gray 773. Look familiar? All right, let's put that between these two screens over here. This is a hobby paint, and this over here is the silver screen at the same time. Let's see how that comes up. Interesting, isn't it? All right, let's go over here and let's get this other one next, the far end. And let's put it right there and see what happens. Now, if you were to take everyday gray product, no matter what shade you choose, we've got multiple shades up there, and you were to take a Dynasty black or any kind of black paint or black fabric, and you were to stick that against and claim that to be our product and stick that up there like that, that's the reaction it would give off. But if you had the 100% real deal, our product, we wouldn't have that reaction. So we're going to have some things on the site on how to spot fraud in demonstrations. There we go. See? Easy. Because that Dynasty laying against any one of these screens, these gray products, automatically come up dark. But if you lay that against our product, it doesn't pick it up. Our product produces a higher white level. I thought I'd add that in there. It wasn't necessary, but I thought I'd do it for fun. So we're going to have some demonstrations coming up pretty soon on our website on showing people how to spot fraud. Alright. Okay. Got our white levels in there. Let's go with some do that skywork demonstration. As you can see, they can't see the contrast going into the transition. They can pick up the white levels, but they won't be able to register color. See? White levels are way too high. So the problem with the gray products, again, they're in a world of limbo. Unless they can show proof that they can do something a little different, then that's what makes them different. So the 2.0s are interesting because they can show they can do something different. Where these gray products, these are multiple shades of gray, do all the same thing. They don't pick up color correctly, they can't see contrast levels, they can't pick up a 100% white level, but they call themselves of pulling the highest white level. That's impossible because that would be a white screen or silver. They would pull the highest white level. They can't pull 100% contrast and they can't match gunmetal technology. So they're in between in the land of limbo. Now, when they first started off and gunmetals didn't exist, they became the dominant screen because they can produce better than a white screen. They produce slightly better contrast and slightly better color, but the white levels did drop. But when the gunmetal popped up, gunmetal can produce an insane amount of contrast levels and color, and because of the reflective surface, it can maintain its white levels, making that the dominant screen. The strong points of a gunmetal is this black technology that can for a heavier contrast level. Now, consider that the only reason why the gray paints really became popular because the gunmetals were extremely expensive. So the only choice you had was this, or the gunmetal, or a white screen. Then our technology came in, we produced 100% contrast, which makes us now more powerful than the gunmetal. Makes us more powerful than the gray screens, makes us more powerful than the white screens. It's all about contrast, that's what it comes down to. The whole purpose of why the gray screen was ever developed was because people wanted better contrast and color. That's all they wanted. They couldn't care less about white levels. It was all about more contrast and more color and the ability to use it in a somewhat lit environment instead of being in these black environments because it's the only way a white screen could function. Put the lights on the screen, wash it out. So that's the whole purpose of the gray screen. But these guys mixed it up and they make it all about the white levels. If that's the case, then the silver screen would be the dominant screen because the silver pulls the highest white level in the gray family of gray screens. Yes, sirree. Now, with that being said, the whole purpose of before these guys ever existed was the reason why someone developed the gray paint. We don't know to this day who made the YouTube paint. Nobody knows. Because they wanted better contrast and better color. That's what they wanted. But now these gunmetal technologies come out and they produce much heavier contrast levels. It's always been about contrast and color from day one. And just haven't accepted the fact that their time has come. All right, let's go over here and let's get some contrast levels in here. Basic star-filled screensaver. That's what we're going to pull up. And this is the reason why when you watch demonstrations of these gray screen products, you will see them in very dark environments. Anytime they display any kind of contrast levels, will be in dark environments. That's the problem. When we do demonstrations on a 2.0, it sits downstairs in that maxo zone and it pulls those contrast levels, even next to gunmetal technology. Because if I want to show up the screen, even though it's not going to pull the contrast levels as dark as the darker screens, we have to show you everything so that way you can see exactly what you're getting yourself into when you purchase the product. It's not going to help you if we stick that screen in a dark environment and hit it with a high-end projector to boost the contrast level and go, voila, this is what you're going to get. That's lying to the customer. That's not being truthful. Because now, if that customer tries to use it on any other projector, he's not going to get the same results. And that's going to cause a problem. Now, certifies, yeah, they do that too. Ambient controlled environments, extremely high powered machines in there. And again, when the customer gets home, it's not going to be the same thing. Because he's going to have to match the environment. He's definitely going to have to match that projector. And again, that's a lot of money for a machine. All right, so the contrast levels are not coming out. Let's go over to, because we got to keep this short and sweet. Let's go over to basic LG demonstration, LG jazz demonstration. I see this demonstration done quite a lot, and the reason why is because it shows an in-between contrast level, not full contrast, in between. So they can mask it a little bit better in here. But still, they do it in the dark. If you do this in a fully lit environment, you will see where the gray screens are having issues.
I was having relationship issues with my old bank. It was just take. So I moved to SoFi Checking and Savings.
Get 2.00% interest and earn up to $300 when you set up direct deposit. SoFi, get your money right.
Now, mind you, as we do these demonstrations, some people will take this extremely personal, like it's being directed toward them. Understand, this is not being directed towards you. This is being directed with anyone who makes this product at the end of the day, to show them exactly the difference between the two. Now, I know people that basically sell on eBay and very honest and upfront with their products, but then I also know people that are not very honest and upfront with their products. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to convince people, whoever you may be, that a gray screen will ever have the capability to overpower black technology or gunmetal technology, it is virtually a lie. They do not have that capability at all, period. Mind, as I said before, these products are considered to be 9 years old, 10 years old. Now, I should have said the capability to overpower these screens unless they have proof to do it. Now, if one of these screens come up and somebody develops a screen and it overpowers one of the gunmetal screens or does the exact same thing as a 2.0, then guess what? That's definitely believable because whatever they're saying, they're backing it up. But if there's no proof of it, then no, you can't really make those statements. So it's considered to be a lie. One of the things you're going to have to do, which is real important, and the first test of any screen paints have to be able to show that they're not matching other household products. Now, usually a demonstration like this will be done in a very dark environment. And again, they like to use the LED lights constantly behind the screen to give off the illusion there's light in the environment, but they do this strictly in the dark. This has to be done in a fully lit environment. Now, in here we have, again, if you don't know, we have the Slip Silver Amazon Micro Blend. We have Network Grade 773. We have a silver screen coated with M&N, or M&M, sorry about that. We have, this is a very high grade. It's actually more high grade than the PPG or PPG, I think I get it mixed up. That's more high grade silver. Over here, that's gray hobby paint right there. And over there, that is bullseye primer. Okay, grab a couple more dark colors and contrast at the same time. Just grab a couple of those. I like this one here because this has the color and contrast at the same time.
New Dial Foaming Hand Wash Concentrated Refills. Count on clean.
Now that's the reason why I brought out the dark black Dynasty paint. To put that against the gray screens while we're doing that white snowstorm in the background to show you the comparison. If they had the real product, 100% from us, that's the reaction would have pulled off. I gotta use that too. Well, honestly, at the end of the day, we won't be doing any of these demonstrations. Maybe the silver, but none of the grays, because again, offline in that world, most screens we're gonna run into are gonna be white. Honestly, that's what we're gonna be running into white screens. The odds of us running into a gray screen is gonna be extremely rare. But this is to show y'all in the online world, if you ever think at the end of the day that a gray screen is going to have the capability of competing with black technology or even gunmetal, no, not going to happen. Any form site will tell you, if you say, hey, look, I got this 4K projector, what's the better screen for me to display this off? Gunmetal, they don't know too much about black, so you can see black, they're going to be iffy about that because they don't know anything about black technology. But gunmetal or a gray screen, they're going to point you in the direction of the gunmetal. And once we're certified and we can basically land anywhere we want, then they will basically recognize who we are. But as you can see, the comparison, gray screen, no matter what shade we choose, can't see color, can't see contrast. This is why you're told to calibrate. This is why you see demonstrations stuck in dark environments with ultra stritos nearly kissing the screen. It has nothing to do with the projector's lumen count. The lumen count of the projectors are perfectly fine. It's just the screen has a hard time maintaining in a fully lit environment. With that extra 3,000 lumens right on top of it, that doesn't go well. All right. What do we got here for time? The transition, they don't transition at all, period. So transition means your screen has to be to jump from color to contrast to white levels, back and forth. Now, the entire demonstration has to be at a bounce. Because the screens are uneven and unbalanced, they can only produce white levels. Because of that, they can't bounce back and forth. want to show you something. This is literally how my cat got the nickname Hollywood. That's all Taco Land over there, so I gotta take trash out today. It's all Taco Land over there. But Taco chooses to have his battles here in front of the camera. Taco? Do you mind taking you and your fish and skedaddle? We'll leave him there. He's not harming anything. Already announced when we start these demonstrations that the junior CEO is going to be popping up from time to time. He likes to be known. That is his never-ending, endless battle with his stuffed fish. Next time we bring out, you put your tie on you. So no matter what shade of gray you choose, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades of different gray up here, it's all going to react the same way. Now, as I said before, this is not to offend anybody or put anyone down who makes grease screen paint products. It's just showing our point of view on how our technology reacts to these great products. Now, under the 2.0, if you see the 2.0 technology, it is designed, it is tested, it had to go through a lot of tests so that way we don't fall in the same category as some of these products. But that's why we do these tests against our products, to show the comparison. And as you can see, our technology produces better reds, better color, better contrast. White levels look absolutely amazing. And no expensive projectors required, no dark environment to try to better the picture quality, none of that, and no calibrating. All right, so I'm past my time here. So we're about to leave. I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration of Kenneth Burke and Crystal Edge Technology Screens and the new company we're building right now, which is our Black Series Edition.com. We put all the information below, you can check it out. I got to come back in and put the Crystal Edge company in there also too, because again, we don't want one company to overshadow the other one. We want to show that both of them do quite well when it comes to their products. Tonight we'll be outside if we don't get any rain, because we can have some off and off rain a bit, and we'll be doing some demonstrations on the 39 Black Widow. All right, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for always blessing us with amazing technology. Gotta go, and God bless.